Morning everyone, welcome back to Pozzie Adventures. So today's video is going to be a little different to our normal stuff that we put out. We're not out and about, we're not out caravaning, we're actually at the property. What we've been doing here over the last week or so is refencing the front of the property. So we're going to take a break. It's such a beautiful day today, we're going to take a break from it all and we're going to get out and we're going to go for a drive, maybe find a pub to have a meal and just have a look around. So we're going to take you along for the ride, so stick with us. Roll intro. Okay, so just to give you an idea what we've been up to. Now I'm not a fencer, so don't judge me. But basically, we've been refencing the front of the property. We haven't finished yet. We've still got far more to do. But yeah, just to give you an insight, this is what we've been doing all the way across. So you can see up there, we've been along the front of the property. Stop pickers have been whacked in. We've got six bars of high tensile wire across the front. We didn't want to use barbed wire. We haven't got livestock here. So what we're really trying to do is just to give us a new boundary. The old fence was all falling down. So yeah, it's been fairly full on. We've had to clear it. Obviously, from the legality, because we're on a national park, what we're allowed to do is we're allowed to take four meters across the fence line and clear that area. So that's of everything, basically anything in that 4 meter area. So we've kind of gone 2 meters each side, fence in the middle. In actual fact, we haven't even gone 2 meters. If you actually look, there's no way no way that there's a 4 meter clearance there, but we've kind of gone into the side bush a little bit and taken a few of the leaner trees out, the ones that were going straight across. So that's what you've got over here, just the clearance of a few trees that we've had to take out. Yeah, basically this has cost us a reasonable amount of money, even doing it ourselves with hiring a digger and everything else we had to get to do the job. And what we didn't want is a tree falling straight on it, which is what took the old fence out, strangely enough. But basically the area that we've had to do is around about, I'm guessing if you add up all the sections we're putting in, it's getting on for about 400 meters of fencing. So yeah, we've bought ourselves 3,000 meters of this high tensile wire. And to give you an idea what the fence was like, so obviously this is as far as we've got so far. New strainers in, new posts, and these posts are 2.4 meters, and there's only 1.5 meters sticking out the ground. This is what we had previously, so these are the new posts that you can see here. And you can see this one's pretty much done. And as you can see, if you look down the fence line, you'll see that they're all falling over. Trees have come down on them over the years, and unfortunately, yeah, that's all she wrote really. It has got barbed wire on the top, which we don't like. I see the purpose of it. If you've got livestock, stops the livestock leaning on the fence, but we don't have livestock, and to be honest, it's a bit barbarous for the kangaroos that, you know, generally if you've got enough bars in a fence they'll probably jump it, but time will tell. Obviously we're getting rid of the wooden posts. It's all going to be star pickets with just strainers at each end. We've got to go down to our neighbour's property down here, so this one we've left till last because it's the shortest run. Again, this tree here, you can see that's going to have to come out because it's right on the fence line. The one further down there that's leaning across, that's going to have to come out because that's going to drop. The big one to the left, that'll stay purely for two reasons. One is it's way too big for me to drop, and it's way too close to that power pole over there. and I don't want any risk of it. And it's pretty straight, it's pretty upright. So I'm not just taking trees willy-nilly. We're taking the trees that are likely to be a problem. The rest of them, they can stay where they are. Likewise, this one, which is definitely within the area of 3 meters from the fence line out. If you took a meter inside, 3 meters on the outside, I'm not gonna. I mean, it's a huge tree. I'm not going to take it out. Look at the size of it. So I'll probably knock off these limbs that are sticking over, but the rest of it can stay as is. It's actually amazing how much neater it all looks when you have a look at the property now across here. It's so much tidier, fire risk wise, so much better. But as I say, we've just taken on the gnarly, horrible, leany old trees that we had in here. Just walk up the fence line a little. So you can see there was one that was leaning. So you can see there was one that was leaning straight across, and this one here was the same, straight across. Only little trees, just nicked him off. I think this one's actually part of this big tree here, which is actually glorious. It's so straight, and we can see this from our front window. I love it. Would be concerned if it ever fell, that it would probably fall on the house, but it is a beautiful tree. As you can see, this one here's got a fair lean on it. Unfortunately, it's outside of my 3 meter area that I'm allowed. This one wasn't. This one was the same, and it was straight across, so we took that one. But yeah, this one, we just got to keep our fingers crossed that will never fall. If it does, I've built the fence, and I'll show you what we've used, in a way that it should be fairly easy to replace sections. So obviously wire strain is easy enough to repair wire when it gets stretched or broken, but we've got these clips, and these clips, the idea of them, and I'll just zoom into the clips a little. Okay, so these clips, the idea of them is anything falls on it, these clips will bend and ping off, and shouldn't bend the star picket. The star picket obviously, and the wire doesn't run through the star picket, so if we do bend a star picket, it's easy enough to rerun the wire and replace the individual star picket. Hopefully the wire, you know, if it snapped, we could put a repair section in and restrain it. It just depends how much it stretches, because once it's stretched it won't return back. So the idea of these wires is that they're under tension, but they should stretch either way. So yeah, it just depends. But as I say, we've tried to make it as repairable as possible, because it's an expensive venture doing this sort of work. We did speak with Parks Victoria when they graded that track last time to get the rules on what we could and couldn't do. And here's another prime example again. Leany tree. Took it out. To be fair, could have taken the one behind it as well, because that's fairly leany, and it's certainly within 3 meters, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't want a big hole. I just wanted to get the most likely ones out. It's far more open than it was, but I didn't want a big hole. Coming down, this one had some gnarly looking bits on it and was actually fairly rotten, so you can see I've just trimmed off, it's there, just trimmed off those 2 bits there, and up we go. So that's the first section that we've done. We've got a gate up there that we've got to put back on, and the other section is slightly longer than this section, which we've still got to put the star pickets in and the wires. So yeah, that's our job to do before Monday night, because I'm back to work on Monday. We've also got to set fire to all this crap here. We've got a lot of treetop that needs to be burnt. It needs to be separated. I'll do one little fire here. We did burn everything on this side, we've burnt. But yeah, we're getting the property bushfire ready as well for the summer. So that's the general idea behind that. So we did have a little bit of a challenging start to the week, in respect that, there's a hole there. So we did have a bit of a challenging start to the week, in respect that Tanya slammed her fingers in our shed door. So we were heading down the tip to get rid of the old bits of fence, and she came walking over to me holding her hand and saying, "Oh, I've trapped my fingers in the shed." So I said, "Well, come on, let's get in, we better clean it up." Went indoors, run her hand under the tap to wash off the blood. She was dripping everywhere, and immediately knew that she needed to go to the hospital. She'd cut it right down to the bone on one finger and close on the other. So that wiped out a day waiting at A&E, and then they took a look at it and said there's tendons exposed. She needs to go to the plastic surgeon. So another day wiped out. Took her to the plastic surgeon. Luckily no tendon damage. She was really lucky, and yeah, so now she's all bound up with one hand. She's going to use one hand, so it is what it is. She was very lucky. I think she was lucky that the sliding door on the shed was only on rollers at the top, wasn't actually fixed at the bottom, so as she slid it shut and got her hand in there, it did swing inwards and gave a bit of clearance. Otherwise it would have taken her fingers off. The bones were the only thing that stopped it. So yeah, it was all a little bit of a it's been a challenging week. She's also had to have a trip down to South Australia, which she did over 2 days, down to Adelaide and back in 2 days, because one of her dogs is in season and she's got some frozen semen that she's imported to try and breed a line for this dog. So last time she flew the dog and the dog was pretty stressed. Didn't work. I don't know if it's, you know, this sort of thing is particularly viable, you know, but they do it. So this time she's physically put the dog in the car and driven the dog there. So 2 days more wiped out. So most of this has been by me. She has helped where she can. Obviously one hand, I didn't want her getting her hand infected. So today is really a treat for us both, because it was our wedding anniversary earlier in the week, on the week that she did her hand, on the day she did her hand. So this is a little bit of a treat out for us. We're going to get out, we're going to have a look around. I think we're going to head down to the Otways, so Great Ocean Roadway, and yeah, let's get out and enjoy ourselves. Yeah, so we had something a little bit mysterious happen the other day. We had a lot of wind, and we had a tree come down in the back garden, and we were lucky that Jill's camper van is normally parked just here, my mother-in-law, and it came down and fell towards it. Luckily it wasn't quite big enough to hit a van. It did take out my fire pit, and it was a reasonable sized tree. I found that out when I had to cut it up, but I've never seen a tree break in the way this one has. There was no signs of any rot in the tree. There was no ants or anything like that in the tree. It's just snapped off clean at the base, and I'll show you where it's come out, and it's actually a bit of a mystery to me as to how it's happened. Let's just get around the right way. Okay, so this is, you can see some of the bits of roots still sticking up. What I'll do is I will burn this out, but it's not going to take much, just put a bit of fire there and get rid of it. But yeah, it's snapped off clean at the base, hasn't pulled the roots out, nothing, it's just snapped off and over it's gone. All that you can see remnants of it. This was our little bird box that was on it. Well, that's what's left of it. Luckily there was no birds in it at the time, but yeah, it's just smashed that to pieces. Obviously it's done our fire pit, which we're going to need a new one of those. It's knocked our dog stump over. That was just the stump we used to tie the dog to while we were out here, stop it running off. But yeah, the property's not looking too bad now. We've been busy. So this last week I've been busy. I hired a digger, and it's made life so easy for us. Got plenty of wood and the trees that have been But over this way, a couple of trees, but wood. Who'd have thought storage of wood was going to be a problem? And you can see, just take you across here, the bush area. We've cleaned it up a little bit, got it ready for the bushfire season. Still quite a lot of raking up to be done. You can see the ground's got plenty of leaf litter still down. This fire's still smouldering. Even with all the rain we had last night, it's still going. Just goes to show, doesn't it? And all that is you can see I've scraped up the ground just to give us an area where I can burn off without the risk of the fire spreading, because obviously you can feel the wind's getting up, but this does need all scraping up some more. I only just did it lightly, but as you can see, then once this is finished burning, I shall rake it all back out again. But yeah, it's makes life a lot quicker. I know this looks all very muddy here now, but give it a couple of weeks and the grass will be coming back through this. In actual fact, the leaf litter stops the grass growing. As soon as you clear the leaf litter, the grass starts coming straight up. Downside to that is then you're not having to mow it. But at some point I might try making, for the ride-on mower, a harrow to go on the back to scrape all the leaf litter up. Then I can just harrow round it, sweep it all up, and we'll be good to go. I'll take you up to the other end, up to here, and just show you what's still got to be done. I did a little bit of grading on this track as well while I had the digger, just bladed it down and scraped up and just levelled it a little. We don't use this too much as access, but it's nice to have it fairly level. Unfortunately it did get a little boggy while I was doing it, so the digger's left quite a lot of track marks, but the rain will soon sort that out. Okay, so that's the other end of the fence line, and you can see, yeah, there was a dead tree. Actually, that whole tree's dead. If you look up, you'll see the whole tree's dead. I took the two leaners. There was two leaners coming across. I took them out, but I left the vertical one, because although that is going to drop those, I probably should have taken it out, but it is going to drop those boughs over time. It's quite straight, and I thought, well, I'm not looking to completely change the landscape. I'm just looking to protect the investment, that's all. And then going this way, you see there's actually a tree that came down in the storm there. There's a couple actually on this bit of land I've had to clean up because they came down. But the fence line, you can see straight down, you can just see to the left. In actual fact, looking at it from here, there might be some trees that are going to be a problem for the wire, potentially. We'll know when we put the bottom wire in, but hopefully they're not hard against any trees. Shouldn't be. It's in the same hole it was in before, but the fence was flat. So, and I don't know how long it had been flat for, to be fair. It may have been flat for 10 years, in which case those trees may have grown, but we'll find out once we go to put it in. If I have to take more out, I'll have to take more out, but hopefully not. Here's my wife. She's back with her dodgy fingers. What did you do, darling?
Someone cleaned up leaves along the door for our...
Are you seeing where she's going with
colour
this?
bond
Who's someone
shed?
who did that?
That might have been you. So normally the door's really stiff. It's got top rollers. Normally it gets caught up on the leaves, but the other day it didn't. and my fingers were in the way and it rather hurt. And I had surgery on Monday to fix them. Nothing broken, thankfully, no tendon involvement. So I will recover and make a full recovery. However, it hurt a lot at the time and was very inconvenient.
It was inconvenient. So we're going to head out now. We'll take you along. I'm just going to hang on. Banging that in the ground. Okay, well we're going to head out now, and we'll take you along. Show you this.
Belated 24th wedding anniversary.
It is.
Date day.
Yeah, that's it. We're playing with the new camera as well, so we bought ourselves an SLR, a digital SLR. So we bought ourselves a Canon EOS R10. Sorry, I'll start again. We bought.
Did you do that?
I must have. That must have fallen off the. So I'm just doing a bit of grading because there's a big pile of stones just left randomly a pile of stones. Yeah, we bought ourselves a digital SLR. So we bought ourselves an EOS, a Canon EOS R10 with 3 lenses. And we were looking for something which had a little bit more flexibility than the GoPro and the DJI Pocket 2, and maybe gave us a bit better video footage. And spent a bit more than I'd anticipated. I was actually looking at the R50, but Tanya came along and she has a tendency to talk me into spending more money.
Oh, it's always a good reason.
Yeah, but it's a much nicer camera. The only downside to it is the lenses. Currently, the lenses for the Canon range are either very, very expensive or not available. Seems to be you can only really get Canon made lenses. But I'm sure that'll change over time, and you can fit the older lenses on them. So we'll keep our eyes open on that. But right now I've got a range of lenses that will do most things. Anyway, let's get going. So first stop, Bellbrae?
Bellbrae Winery.
Bellbrae Winery. It's pretty busy here, so let's go in and do a bit of wine tasting, have a look around the grounds. Yeah, check it all out. Looks like a bit of carving or something going on there. So we stopped at the Bellbrae estate and we're looking at getting some pizzas, or a pizza. Just share, there's bubbles everywhere. Kids are letting bubbles loose. But yeah, they had particularly hot pizza called Head Injury, so we're going to give that a go. Tanya's gone in to organise them. She's going to come out with some glasses of wine as well. It's a little bit cool as well. I'd say it's a little bit chilly. But yeah, it's busy. Busy old spot. Tanya's been and got a glass of white. So we've got Sauvignon Blanc. Here she comes. She's got a whole paddle. tasting paddle, is it, darling? It's nice. So what's my one?
Yours is the museum Sauvignon Blanc. So this one is
Quite
just
nice.
estate Sauvignon Blanc.
Doesn't look as yellow. Let's try this one as
Green
well.
one.
It's a bit sharper. Have you tried that one?
Yeah. I tried it at the bar because I was worried it was a bit yellow.
I'm sure she did. She tried mine. Well, there's the pizza. Looking pretty good. Got jalapenos, olives, because Tanya loves olives. don't
Yeah,
you?
they're great. Love them. Absolutely amazing.
She loves them.
Chorizo sausage,
Yep. Get stuck
chili
into this.
flakes.
See what it's like. Yummy. Where are we, darling?
So we're at Chocolatier on the Great Ocean Road. Gonna have ice cream. Oh, and chocolate.
Because
And maybe a hot chocolate too.
yeah, both of our waistlines need it, don't they?
Yeah, not.
Okay.
Do you want a dark or a milk chocolate?
Dark chocolate, I think. How's your ice cream?
It's really good.
We've got strawberry and pistachio.
And I've got wild berry sorbet and lemon sorbet.
Quite delicious though.
Damn.
Chocolate was good. Very thick now.
Yeah. We had hot chocolates. Richard had a dark hot chocolate and I had a milk one. Just really sweet. That's my sugar fix probably for the whole year, I reckon.
You heard it here first.
Well, I'm not swearing to it.
No, she wouldn't swear to it. When I come home and find mini roll wrappers in the bin and no mini rolls,
Mine.
she guffaws them before I even get a chance to see them. I only see the remnants of what was once there. Anyway, let's carry on.
now.
I don't know. We're going to move on and go somewhere else. So we've stopped off at Urquhart Bluff Beach. So we're going to take a walk down onto the beach, and it's looking pretty good. There's a lot of surface here, so we'll show you what's going on. It's a beautiful day for it. fair surf out there. Smashed. And there's loads of people out enjoying it. It's still a bit cold for my liking.
Yes.
To be
A
in
bit
there.
fresh.
It's like the never-ending job. 3 more wires to run, and it'll look like that. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this slightly different type of video that we've put out this week. Obviously we own acreage, so we have to be, sometimes we can't always be out playing in the caravan, although we'd love to be. And the fencing's needed doing since we got here. So yeah, we brought that to you. We did have a little day out we took you along with, but just to show you what we've been up to, really. So I'm going to get this finished, and when it's done, I'll show you it complete. Got to get the gate on as well. Well, everyone, the fence line is done, so that's me finished. I'm pretty knackered as well, to be fair. It's been a pretty full-on week because obviously Tanya injured herself, so a lot of this work I've had to do on my own. Anyway, it's done. Next we've got a trip away over the grand final weekend, so we're going away with a couple of friends. We will be recording that one, we'll be bringing that to you, so stay tuned. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to push for 1,000 subscribers. That way we start getting monetized. And I'm just going to spin the camera around now and show you the finished article. Okay, so there's the fence line up into the distance, which goes to the corner of the property up there. We have put braces on all the main strainer posts, and then got the gate on. Yeah, don't look at too much at the gate level. We do need to change that that top hinge for an adjustable one because it's way too high, and also that post's too far away, so might even change it for a 15-foot gate, because a 15-foot would fit there absolutely perfectly, because we've got about a foot's clearance, but we always did have. And if you've ever tried drilling a hole out with an auger when there's already one there, it's almost impossible because it's too close to the hole that was already there. Just keeps wanting to fire into the hole that was already there. So anyway, we'll live with it. It's not a huge issue. And there's the other route all the way down to the main front driveway.